So you wake up and you're ready to change your life. You're ready to start that business, launch that YouTube channel, go after exactly what you want. You wake up and in your room is that chair full of clothes from yesterday that you just threw on, ready to deal with the next day. That's okay. You go to the bathroom, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you look in the sink and you realise it could do with a little bit of a scrub because yesterday's toothpaste is still there on the side. You run downstairs, you go to make yourself a nice healthy breakfast because you're on a brand new regime, but yesterday's dishes are still in the sink and they're looking kind of gross. It's put you in a bit of a bad mood, so you reach for a croissant, a pain au chocolat, and you head out the door ready to have exactly the same day that you had yesterday. This is the reality for a lot of us, including me, who sometimes are so busy with everyday life, especially if you have other responsibilities, that you neglect your home living space. And this can actually be a barrier to all those opportunities and new people that you want to welcome into your life. I had this realization earlier this week when I was looking for a cat. I'm looking to welcome a new cat into my house. Me and my child are very excited. We have been non-stop looking on so many sites for a cat, which I didn't realize it was so difficult to get one, but we really want to get a cat. And I've been speaking to people who are giving them away for rehoming or people with kittens, and I came across the best cat, like the cat of my dreams. It's so cute, it's really fluffy. I even have the name picked out for it. And I was speaking to this person and they said, would you mind sharing a video of your home for me to see? And immediately my guard went up and I was like, what? No. And in my head, the stress, I was like, well, I need to clutter. I can't show that bit of my house because all my daughter's toys are there. I can't show my kitchen because I've got loads of cookbooks and letters around. I can't show my room because my straighteners are still out from this morning. And I just got really stressed and my guard went up and I was just like, no, I'm not going to continue that conversation because I don't want to show a video of my home. Now, disclaimer, my house is not dirty at all. It's not, obviously I clean regularly. You have to when you have a child, but there is a lot of things in my house. A lot of things I think that I don't really need, such as toys, books that I've already read, clothes that I no longer reach for. There's just a lot of things, and sometimes because I'm so busy, because I'm working full-time, looking after my daughter full-time, I don't always have the time to reset my whole house entirely. Sometimes I come home and there's things that need to be put back. I didn't realise that this was actually creating a mental block, and actually it was showing up physically as well because I had no motivation, my energy was slumped. Physically, I couldn't really access all the spaces. Like I come home, I put my bag there and I can't put it back where I usually do because there's the bag from yesterday that's there. I go back to my kitchen table and I can't have my full meal on the table because all my notebooks are on the table from yesterday. So it was actually blocking me physically as well as mentally because it was just so many things around. The number one thing before we even begin to start embarking on new opportunities, new adventures, thinking about opening a new business, is we need to make sure the space around us is clear and clutter free. You cannot think clearly if your house is a mess, it's just a fact. There's been so many studies which you can research, I might link one below, but there's been studies that directly show that having a cluttered environment can raise your cortisol level and leave you feeling very stressed and not at peace in the place where you should feel most comfortable. I've also found in my own life, having a cluttered home, having a home that needs tidying and has been a little bit neglected, can actually lead to you spending more because you don't want to spend time in that environment. When the weekend comes around, you don't want to spend your Saturdays lounging around a messy environment. So what are you going to do? You're going to get in your car, drive somewhere else, eat out, travel far because you don't want to spend time in that environment. Whereas if it was clear, tidy and there was space to think, space to enjoy your home, then you wouldn't be pushed to go out, spend money and escape that environment. A lot of the advice around decluttering your home always states that you shouldn't tackle the whole house all in one go, which I do agree with because even that thought of going into each and every room and spending as much time as needed in there decluttering and cleaning and throwing things away and rearranging, it's overwhelming and it's slightly unrealistic, especially if you're doing it on your own. However, I do think that during one of those big reset days, addressing every room in the house, even a little bit, is beneficial. So for example, in my house, I have my room, my daughter's room, which also needs a bit of decluttering, my living space, my kitchen, my garden not so much, but also my hallway, there's quite a lot of things there. And so if I was only going to focus on my bedroom, for example, and I was going to declutter it, clean it, spend 4 or 5 hours in it, getting it up to absolute 10/10 standard, and then I didn't touch any other rooms in the house, I would still feel the same, because I'm only going to be comfortable in this one room, which is only for me to enjoy, and every other room is going to look cluttered and feel messy and chaotic. However, if I did a little bit in this room, a little bit in my daughter's room, my living room, got it up to a nice, livable, spacious, lovely space, my kitchen, made sure it was clean, tidy, and there was room to cook and enjoy, then I would feel much more balanced and much more positive in the mornings. Another trap a lot of people who need to declutter and tidy their homes fall into is this overconsumption, this need to run out and buy loads and loads of different products. One product for windows, one product for floors, one product for curtains, 3 different products for washing, and it's just not necessary. You can actually start cleaning your house, and I say cleaning as well as decluttering, with washing up liquid, bleach, water. And if you want to buy products, you can actually buy all-in-one disinfectants that you can use on like flooring, walls, windows. You don't need to run out and buy loads and loads of different products. And because not only are you wasting money, but you're also creating more clutter for you to have to tidy a few months down the line. Now, there are loads of videos of people showing exactly how they declutter, but I think what it comes down to is just figuring out what works best for you. I personally would start in the room that has the most impact. So for example, for me, it's always my living space, because that's the place where we spend the majority of our time, and it's also the room that you see straight away when you walk in. So I feel like if that's tidy, it kind of emulates a nice positive feeling throughout the rest of the house. I always start there, or if I had a little bit more time, I'd probably start in the room that needs the most work, and that would probably be my daughter's room, because she's got so many things that need to be cleared out and thrown away. She also has a habit of writing little notes and just forgetting about them, and I just find them here, there and everywhere, so I'd probably have to spend a lot more time in there. But it's about figuring out what works best for you. There's no one way of doing it. Another final tip I would say is do not fall into the trap of watching those tidying reset videos for hours and hours on end, so much so that you end up not having enough time to clean your own house. I've also fallen into that trap before, particularly on TikTok, where I love particularly mums who have busy houses. I love watching them reset and seeing how they organize all their toys, how they get ready for the next school day. I love that kind of content, but it's very easy to fall into a doom scrolling pattern, and also a comparative pattern where you're thinking, that house looks so amazing, look at their organization, storage, look at that house, look at their garden, and you just kind of end up feeling a little bit more down about your own space. So I would say, by all means, a few videos if you have to, if you're genuinely looking for tips, but don't spend hours and hours looking and comparing how other people are doing it. Also, be kind to yourself and realistic with yourself, because how much time you have compared to somebody perhaps who is a stay-at-home parent, or somebody who has a partner, or someone who also has like a cleaner, or other people who are able to help them around the house, their cleaning regimes and what they are able to achieve in a day, or even, you know, a week, or on a regular basis, is going to be different to your life. So me, for example, I don't beat myself up too much that my house can sometimes be a bit cluttered, and I do have a lot of things, and not every single day when I go to bed the toys are put away, the laptop's put away every single day. I know that, but I'm kind to myself, because I know that I work very hard, I work many hours, and I'm also juggling looking after my child and making sure that they have my time and attention as well. I know that I'm not going to have a show house at the end of every single day, and I'm fine with that, but it's making sure that I do stay on top of the cleaning and on top of my space, so that it's not affecting my stress levels, my mental health. And I'm also not afraid to let people into my home to visit, and I have a house that I'm proud of. So before you begin doing any other self-improvement tips, make sure that your environment is really speaking of the person that you want to become, and it's really allowing you the space, not just mentally but physically as well, to become who you want to be and work on your goals. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you on my next one.